SportsBeat is powered by KSLSports.com.
Thanks for staying up with us. Jeremiah Jensen and Sam Farnsworth with you for the next half hour.
Yeah, we've got so much winning going on tonight.
So much.
Yeah, big wins for the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. A record-breaking day for a Wildcat.
Yeah, the Jazz season begins Wednesday. Donovan Mitchell gives us an exclusive tour of his new store. That was cool. All right, now to the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell's 23 years old. He's an NBA star. He has his own shoe with Adidas, and now he's a business owner. In a collaboration with Stance, he opened a new store called Stance X Donovan at City Creek Center.
I have a feeling it's going to be a popular place to be. Donovan gave KSL an exclusive tour of his new store before the grand opening on Saturday.
All right, I'm Donovan Mitchell, and this is my store at Stance. We'll come into to my side of the store right here. Pretty much takes you throughout my whole life. You know, we have the pictures on the wall, we have determination of negativity, which is something I really believe in. You know, obviously with my shoe and the Don. And memorabilia, we pictured me and my sister from the good old days. Picture me and my mom and my sister. Mom, what game was that, Mom?
What game was this? Was this freshman year or sophomore year?
Freshman year, because my hair was like that.
Jordan had the braces.
Yes,
Huh?
Which one?
Up there.
This one? I had the swag back then.
But look,
you see the armband?
Donnie, look at his arms from that. Look how his arms are.
Just gives you an overall glimpse of, you know, where I come from and what I'm really about.
If I told 18-year-old Donovan Mitchell that you'd be an NBA star, you'd have your own shoe line, and you'd have your own store, what would he say?
I would think you're lying. Because, you know, like I said, this is incredible. I would have never pictured this for myself. You know, this is a truly incredible experience, and I'm very blessed.
AB stop and pop three. Rebound. Oh my! Donovan Mitchell! I gotta see that over and over again. Up on the ladder, the rookie.
As list of accomplishments, hope to build on those.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz.
Let's hope to build on those, you know, in the Utah Jazz area, you know, for years to come. Obviously, you gotta have the shoes, gotta have the first shoe. We got all different colorways. The Purple Mountain jersey, we have the Fireman, Iron Spider, Venom. I'll give you guys a little bit of a story. So I'm obsessed with fire trucks. People really don't know that about me. I'm like, you know, that's like my thing. You know, so for that's really more near and dear to like my childhood and what I grew up around. Obviously, Spider-Man was a big part of my childhood as well, but I think those are a little bit under the radar as far as people not really understanding how big of fire trucks, how big of a role they played in my life. But those are one of those that are near and dear. But the Karl Malones, I think, is really special. We have them all. We have socks to match, so make sure when you guys come by, we have socks to match pretty much the shoes. So you guys get both. Right here, we have the kind of like the socks, the jersey, the shoes, the whole collaboration in one right here.
Mitchell into a reach.
Hopefully put a few more in there as the years go on. As you make your way over here, we have obviously the Utah Jazz, the Utes, BYU, X-Men, Star Wars, all types of socks on the wall. These I would say are one of my favorites just because they're simple, but you know, whether it's the black and white, orange and white, or the pink and purple, it kind of gives you, I have them on right now actually, but yeah. Welcome to the store. Hope to see you guys in here. How's that?
One take. That was impressive.
Awesome.
That was impressive. Thanks again, Donovan, for the access. All right, next on SportsBeat, we got college football coverage.
Yeah, the Utes are rolling. We'll break down their big win against Arizona State.
Doesn't matter. You can't block. It doesn't matter. Bradley and I, second sack tonight.
Why was Utah's defense so dominant, and what was the key to Zach Moss's record-breaking touchdown run? Plus, BYU and Utah State up next.
Eddie Johnson, he was the GOAT, the greatest rusher of all time at the U. He had 3,219 yards in his career with the Utes that ended in 1988. His record had a nice 30-year-long run, but now it's time to pass the torch, and Zach Moss He's ready to carry it after last night's win over the 17th-ranked Sun Devils. Moss needed just 55 yards to break the record, and he needed all 4 quarters to get it. It was on this 32-yard touchdown run, though, with just over 5 minutes left, that put Moss over the top. The school was given permission to fly his family out for the game, and Moss said breaking the record with them watching made it that much more special.
I was very emotional at the beginning of this game, just having my mom here. The last time she came out, I got injured. So it was just special to have her and my dad and the entire family out here for this one.
He did a great job tonight. Those yards were tough, hard-fought yards. There was no easy yards there tonight. And so how it played out was just fantastic for his family to be able to be here and take part in that, be a part of that.
On the other side of the ball, the Utes defense was dominant once again, and they were led by the captain, Bradley and I. 3 sacks and a tipped ball near the line of scrimmage. Coach Witt told them before the game it was going to be a good night.
Awesome, 3 sacks, and I told him before the game, I said, you're going to get 3 sacks tonight, and I'll be darned, he got them, and he's, in my estimation, the best edge pass rusher in the Pac-12.
Coach Kelly had a great scheme set up for us, and so we just went out there and executed as a defense, and it was a great night for us. Just like I said before, during the week, our preparation, the guys were practicing hard, and so it was a pretty deserving night for the defense. Just scheming-wise, us as a defensive line were able to apply pressure and whatever it took.
All right, so let's bring in David Nixon and Stevenson Sylvester now to talk about the Utes' big win against Arizona State yesterday. But as they're moving forward, getting ready for Cal, the big question this week is going to be Tyler Huntley. Is he going to be ready? I mean, he got banged up yesterday.
Yeah, he really did. The first half looked sharp until the injury occurred. The weather conditions were tough. Footing wasn't great. But this particular play was just bad luck.
Yeah, he's getting banged up by Arizona State the last couple of years. But, Arizona State does a great job with a great stunt, brings great pressure. A lose of pressure is normal, but an awkward fall here. The defender ends up landing on his leg awkwardly. We still, to this day, don't know what the injury is. Hopefully it's something that doesn't keep him out long term because he has been lights out this season.
Well, like you said, he does a great job right here evading the rush. He dips underneath the tackle right here, escapes. But the problem is once you get in the pocket, there's a big scrum, right? There's a lot of guys surrounding you. Unfortunately, knee-to-knee contact. Hopefully he can come back from his injury because this could be another devastating injury similar to last year, like you said, against Arizona State.
Yeah, so now we want to look at, how he played after the injury. One thing you don't want to do is he's injured, don't have him drop back from center. He can't run. And so this interception right here he knew it after the play. It's like, I should not have thrown that ball. So the offensive route is a basic 9-7-3. One guy runs a go route, one guy runs a 7-corner route, and one guy runs a 3 route. Your read here is the corner. If that corner drifts back, hit the short route. He couldn't see it because he can't move in the pocket. And here you can see he is frustrated. He knows that that's a basic read. Throw it to the flat.
And you can see him hobbling, trying to make the tackle. The problem with injuries, it gets in your head a little bit, right? And you start to make decisions that usually you wouldn't tend to do. So hopefully he gets healthy and can return for this next game. But Zach Moss, all-time career rushing leader for Utah. What a night for him.
Beast. As all season, I think everybody came to the stadium to see what this night could do. He could have broke 3 records last night, but this record, he took the all-time rushing record. And he did it on a basic run play, away zone. As we said all season, block up these first defenders. The U tight end kicks out the D end and get Zach Moss one-on-one with these corners. They do not.
Business decision right here. You don't want any of this right here. You just step to the side, let him go.
He didn't even touch him. And makes the easy 20-yard touchdown for Zach Moss. And now he's the all-time rushing leader in Utah history.
Listen, congratulations, Zach Moss, right? I mean, he came back for his senior year. This is one of those things he wanted to accomplish, and he did so congrats to him. Now let's move on to the Utes defense.
Arizona State came in 400-plus yards of offense, 268 yards of passing, 134 rushing. Utah limits them to 136 total yards. And the reason, big chunk of that was a fourth quarter big run. But this defense was amazing. Every single person contributed. Lecky Fotu, Bradley and I, 3 sacks, Beast,
Julian Blackman. Only gave up 3 points.
Only gave up 3 points off of the interception. Yeah. Right. So this defense was just amazing. But Bradley and I leading the charge. It started with that defensive front, with that pressure, had Jaden Daniels running everywhere. But look at this simple move. Inside, The 17-year-old tackle didn't even look. He's like, he beat me so much this game, I'm just going to let him go. And Anai just had a monster game. This guy is having an impressive season for Utah.
3 sacks for Anai. I mean, listen, his speed is so tough to defend and block. Look for him to continue to make a huge contribution this year. This defense, I tell you what, if they continue to play like this, I mean, I see them easily run the table.
So good. So with or without Huntley, you still have that defense. You still have Zach Moss. We'll see if the Utes can make it 4 in a row Saturday against Cal. Jeremiah?
Now to the Cougars. BYU now has wins over Tennessee, USC, and 13th-ranked Boise State this year, which makes the losses to Toledo and South Florida even more head-scratching. Oh, well. There was something a little bit different about the offense in this game. Actually, a lot different. First, new contributors, Sione Finau, from scout team to leading rusher against the Broncos, 11 carries, 89 yards and a touchdown. Part of an offensive explosion in the third quarter. The creativity. On 4th and 2, Baylor Romney was terrific in his first start. That toss to Matt Bushman made it 21-10. Then the flea flicker. Romney to Bushman, who had 5 catches for 101 yards and 2 scores. BYU with 21 points in the third.
I just like the way our game went, and I like the way we executed. And that's, you know, we had a lot of new faces on the field, and it was really nice that we were able to execute so well.
Once again, though, BYU couldn't score in the fourth quarter. Boise State rallied with 15 points in the fourth, cutting BYU's lead to 28-10 to 28-25. BYU's been outscored 42-0 in the fourth quarter in their last 3 games. This time they were able to overcome it. A big gamble on 4th down there in their own territory. Austin Kofensis gets the first down. The reaction from Kalani and the team, priceless. After all the speculation about his job status, this one had to feel good. It definitely meant a lot to the players to win one for their coach.
I don't think people really realize and understand how much we love Kalani. He's a great mentor, a phenomenal coach. I think people are too quick to, you know, to criticize and attack him. But the whole team, we're behind Kalani. We love him. We play for him, you know, regardless of whether his job's on the line or not. You're going to get, you know, 123 guys who are playing for Kalani.
David and Sly are back. Kalani said the play calling against Boise State was a collaborative effort. Whoever was calling the plays against Boise State, who cares? It worked.
I know. Where was this BYU offense all season? They were electric. It was amazing.
Yeah, 21-point third quarter. And listen, this offense, they've struggled. They've had their issues. But this game, they finally are on track. And a lot of it is because of the running game. Sione Finau, a guy that was on the scout team last year, comes in. He's the 3rd, 4th-string running back. Comes in with a huge game, 89 yards rushing. He averaged 8 yards per carry. And a great job right here. A little option play. You option off the defensive end. Great blocking by Bushman. A lot of people thought this might be a hold, but you see Bushman, he moves his legs, he keeps it in tight, right? A lot of the times when it's holding, you get your arms extended. On this play, he catches him in tight, which usually is what the refs are looking for. Sione Finau gets in the end zone. Nice to have a running game going again with Sione Finau.
Yeah, he and Baylor were on the practice squad last year.
That's what, and then he mentioned after the game, he goes, when he came in the game, Baylor looked at him and goes, listen, this is just like the practice squad last year. They were both starters for the practice squad. Let's go out and do our thing, and sure enough, they did.
Great job, great job. And again, Bushman, just another 4th and 1 play. This is an interesting trick play they pulled off here.
Yeah, we love this play call. 5 catches for Bushman for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. 4th and 1, I love the gutsy play call. Look where they're at in the field, and look how they sold it. Baylor Romney goes down, acts like he almost drops the ball, hides the ball. Bushman does a great job of selling as well, trying to down block. Pause passes. And how about Lupini Katoa? Throws his body into the blockers to buy Baylor Romney some time.
Just enough.
Just enough time. Gives him that extra second. Pops the pass into Bushman.
Oh, that defense now. Interceptions, turnovers against the number 13 team in the country. Great game.
Yeah, BYU had to create turnovers in this game, and they did. They provide some short fields for this BYU offense. And great job by Isaiah Kafusi right here. You see him, he's dropping in. It was a cover 2 is what he said in the post-game press conference. So he knew he had a flat defender, so he faked like he was going to go to the flat and cover the man that's in motion. Instead, he puts his foot in the ground and rolls back underneath, lays out for the ball. Great job. This is a veteran move by a linebacker that understands how the defense works and how he can cheat and make up for it and come up with a big play.
Now his brother's taking some notes from him and making plays.
Jackson Kafusi, first time in BYU history that brothers have made interceptions in the same game. The young freshman comes up with a huge play here, and I like what he did here as well. He's dropping as a linebacker, middle backer. He's going to pass off the crosser, and typically, Sly, we know that sometimes you pass off the crosser, you tend to get lazy. And you just stay put and you're looking for work. But instead of just staying lazy, he gets depth. He gets an extra 3 to 4 yards, which made up for the big difference and allowed him to get some depth to get that interception. So when you play a clean game and you create turnovers, good things happen. You come out with a big win.
But here's the call of the game for Kalani. Late in the fourth quarter, do you go for it? Do you punt it? What do you do here? And they go for it on 4th and 1.
This play was gutsy because if BYU doesn't get this play, all Boise State needs is a field goal to tie the game. Instead, Kalani said in the post-game press conference as well, I asked the guys, what do you want to do? They said, let's go for it. They go with their scrum play, they call it. You've got Kairos Tonga, but Diane Gawoluku. Diane comes in and literally lifts up Oscar Finsis up over the pile to ensure they get the extra yard they need. And then how about this celebration of Kalani? This is a guy that's been through it all this past week. After the tough losses to Toledo and USF, people were calling for his head, for his job. And you can see just the emotion, the raw emotion finally coming out. And he deserves it because, like you said, they made some tough decisions this week and shifted things around, and it paid off because this BYU team came out inspired, and it obviously resulted in a big win.
BYU has life again. Now they head into the bye week. They're going to need the bye week because Utah State is next on the schedule on November 2nd. Sam back.
Well, JJ, that winning vibe was even being enjoyed up in Logan last night, and the tone was set early. Savon Scarver returned this kick 100 yards for the Aggies' first score, the 5th time in his career he's returned a kick for a touchdown. That is a new Utah State record. And how about Gerald Bright? Carried the ball 15 times for 126 yards, which included a 67-yard touchdown run, one of 2 TDs in the game for him. It was his second 100-yard game of the season. Utah State has now won 4 of their last 5.
Gerald was gleeful on Saturday night. Weber State running back Josh Davis had himself a day against Northern Arizona. Second play of the game, 54 yards for a touchdown. He was just getting started. He set a school record, 328 rushing yards. That's more than any player in an NCAA game across all divisions this year. Davis, 4 touchdowns. Weber State, 612 yards of total offense, the most they've had in 11 years. Well, it was cool to see history Saturday at Rice-Eccles Stadium when Zach Moss passed Eddie Johnson to become the all-time leading rusher in Utah football history.
Yeah, Johnson's record stood for 31 years, which got us thinking an Eddie Johnson flashback would be perfect for this week's archive.
I love history. Here we go. For those that don't remember, Eddie Johnson overcame his size, 5'9", 180, and injuries. He rushed for 3,219 yards in his Utah career, 26 touchdowns. His final game was special, a 57-28 win over BYU, a game where he rushed for 112 yards, 4 touchdowns, and this iconic moment where he gives a cheerleader a 5 after scoring a touchdown. We'll be right back.
Great clips of the week.
This BYU fan is named Brooklyn. She is, I don't know what she's doing. A new dance trend, though. Maybe exercising? Actually, Brooke told me on Twitter she was just trying to stay warm. You're awesome, Brooke.
It's got to be a Halloween costume. The Nats are going to the World Series. Fans are coming out of the woodworks, too.
Since today.
A Nats fan since today.
I've always wondered if the Sooner Schooner had seatbelts. Now we know. Good news. No one got hurt here except for maybe some egos. Buckle up!